Welcome to the History Makers, a show which brings you the biggest talents in the industry, the Kenyan music, and the world over. Brings you the biggest entertainment acts and the people you are willing or wishing to see. On this episode, of course, I'm chilling out with none other but Moji Short Baba. Karibu Moji.
Yes, Baba.
How you doing, man?
Glad to see you.
Fitty, man.
CEO.
Yeah.
CEO in a stand for? Or just CEO the boss?
Wewe kwanza tuambie juu ya Devu. Nitakuja kumaliza. Una ni interview hata kama sijaanza bana.
Bana nijue na Charles Otieno so niko kuna ingine katika.
Kuna hii
E.
Ed.
Ed.
Yes.
Oh, Charles Ed. Big up. Big up. Big up.
Big up hata wewe.
Nashukuru.
Ndevu mingi.
Ndevu mingi. Bad man. This is the chosen few. Chosen few. Yeah, chosen few. Hizi zilianza kitambo. God alibless kitambo. Alipea access nikiwa high school.
Beard gang.
Nilingia beard gang nikiwa bado in my teenage years. I was a beard man. Nilitesa walimu sana high school.
Wanasemaje?
Niliwatesa sana. Nilikuwa napewa walimu self esteem issues. Kwa sababu kulikuwa na walimu wako 45, hawana ndevu, wengine almost 50. So walikuwa wananipea ma suspension tu, ma leave pass. Naenda nakula chapati alafu ndo nanyolewa, alafu narudi. Alafu unajua nilikuwa mix school. Kwa hivyo sideburns nazo, manduru nazo. Msanii, mimi ni msanii, niko na sideburns. Niko na ndevu, walimu walikuwa waniona hivi. Misunderstood na hao kwa nielewa. So hizi zimekuwa hapo for a long time. Unajua kwa Bible hizi zilikuwa za priest. Walikuwa wanamwagiliwa oil hapa alafu ina trickle down. Alafu ukishika hivi unashika anointing. I can bless you right now. Wapi oil?
Hakuna oil hapa kwa show.
Yeah man.
Karibu.
Asante man.
Man, ngoma
tunatoa kila siku.
Ngoma
tunatoa kila siku. My new motto in life is cheza gospel. Cheza gospel.
I'm like gospel industry hakuna wasanii wengi. I don't know, many people fell by the wayside. Ni
wangapi walitoka Charles?
Wengi bro.
Industry ilikuwa na hundreds if not thousands of artists. It's only like 10 big ones maybe. Kuna wengine kidogo maybe wamekuwa discouraged you how 10 because if a big tree falls of course the forest and everything is shaken in the forest. Yeah. So there are very few artists that left. So many other artists have been there. You know, the people forget that the gospel industry is not just the urban gospel industry.
There are very many people.
Even Shiro Ajipi is in the gospel industry.
Yes,
even Solomon Mukubwa
is in the
even Jemai Tiongo. So what do you mean people are leaving? Those ones are still there. Na kina Short Baba pia tuko hapo. So
Eunice Njeri.
I think it's just a narrative. You know, people, let me just tell a bit of my story. I went to media school.
Yes.
I didn't attend so many lectures, but I was there until I finished. Kwa hivyo nikihitajika mahali kwa release my papers, they will come out. I went there and I was first day we asked, give us what is your definition of news? The guy stood up. You know, news is news is news. And then the guy came up, the lecturer. He told us news is simply when a dog
bites.
Is when a man bites a dog, not when
a dog bites a man.
Because the dog biting a man is normal. It's normal.
Yes.
But so now people leaving Jesus and leaving the gospel industry, that is just a man biting a dog. Why can you leave? You are the one telling us to get born again. You're the one telling us to sing for Christ.
Yes.
So how do you leave this person you've been telling us about or this faith? So of course that narrative has been oversold. Yeah. But the truth of the matter is the gospel industry is still very alive. We have too many artists. What it just did, it's just the story imeenda sana, and then you can discourage the new entrants. The persons who are like coming from high school and whatever, that discouraged, like confused kidogo, wanashindwa what's going on. Because like when we left high school, we were like sure we want to enter the gospel industry because everything was just,
it was planned.
Kina Daddy Owen, yani, unajua. But sasa hivi unakuwa like, okay, naona Moji, naona Guardian Angel, but why are all these other guys leaving? I can also do something else. So basically it's just like a transition of sorts. But it's perfectly fine.
So the journey, let's tie your journey and the gospel journey.
Yeah.
When you're living in 2007, that time gospel industry was at the top of the game. I remember we were with Daddy Owen in MTV in Nigeria in 2010. Gospel was the biggest in East Africa. Remember, Kenyan gospel was crazy. In the what we call the urban gospel area is where I'm talking about.
Yes,
remember that the rural gospel, Shiro IGP will always do good music.
Yes, yes.
If you go to Luoland, they are very many gospel artists.
Mudoka.
Yeah,
so
Bishop Anthony is there. Guys are doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But the urban industry
which has a lot of noise.
It's a lot of noise. How do we move into this space and make it look more organized?
It's crazy. Of course, we've always had issues here and there.
Yeah.
But now social media even came and so it was like the ni kama kumwaga mafuta kwa moto.
Inawaka kabisa.
Flambe. Unajua? You know, social media and all these things, they just came in and just that's whatever. But most of the guys, you'll notice most of the guys who have had very crazy stories are very young people.
Yeah.
And I think for any industry, even say like soccer or whatever, any industry that has very young people, we need very strong mentors. Yeah. We need very strong people to help the people grow. And I think there was a disconnection. I can't say we were lacking of mentors. They were there, but there was a disconnection between people who can mentor artists, and there was a disconnection between artists accepting mentorship also, or guidance, because sometimes unapata it is the issues of life that affect the music. It's like your issue, if you can't manage your life very well, CEO, it will affect your work.
Definitely.
It will affect your habits and all these things. So you find we didn't have, there was a disconnection between artists and pastors, between artists and church leaders and whatever. And you find that disconnection of mentorship and people being groomed to be people. Sometimes unakuwa pesa kidogo unatingizwa. Challenges kidogo depression inaingia. Nini hizo vitu zote. So I think it's a learning curve. And we're just learning. And now the next generation, or the people who are here now, we know the challenges that can affect our industry, that can affect the ministry. And I can say now we are wiser. We are wiser.
But not everyone understands that gospel industry is a ministry.
Yeah.
Other people are there to make money.
Yeah.
Other people are there. They know this is a calling, is a ministry.
Yeah.
And this is what I want to do. This is what I want. I want to preach the gospel.
Yeah.
Through music.
Yeah.
But other people think that pesa ikiingia.
Yeah.
And na pesa ikikosa, depression, the way you've said.
Yeah.
And it's serious in the industry.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Well, and you'll always have that. Yeah. I think in everything that happens, even in journalism, what you do, there are people who are really passionate about journalism. Yes. And they want to uphold the ethics, they want to uphold the, the craft of journalism, if there's anything like
and
that.
The art.
Yes, and there are people who are just here for a paycheck. Yeah. And they'll come in, anything in inataka afanye more than their JD or whatever, they come out. Yeah. And that's what it is. But now it is inevitable because work, the corporate scene and the ministry is very different, because when people expect you to behave a certain way because you're a minister, they expect you to minister to them. And not only through music, but also venye unaishi and all those things. So it's almost like a responsibility that you can't run away with. The moment you accept to be a gospel artist, people expect you
to behave in a certain way.
Behave a certain way. Yes. And it's not like job utasema ati, by the way, I'm just only here to sing. Nyi mwachana na mimi.
Naenda kwa club.
Mimi kama mziki nakubariki, wewe mziki tuachimalizane hapo. Tuachane YouTube, wacha mimi niingie mitini moja yako huko Islia kiwajaba nini, unfortunately it can't be like that. There's more to it. There's more to it. People connect to your music. They connect to it vinoma sana. Because somebody will tell you, Niaja, I was going through a very tough time and your song
uplifted
me. So the moment whatever uplifted them, the moment they see me going opposite direction of it's so emotional. They will be so hurt. And that's where I think we don't get it. So if you are now we're understanding that if you are a gospel artist, if you're ministering to people through gospel music, you also need to keep yourself in check. You need to make sure that you manage your life well, because it will affect whatever you're doing. It will affect the bigger picture. And more so, it will not only affect you, it will affect the whole ministry and the whole industry. So it's sort of like you're the biggest guy in it. Ukichoma inakuwa ni nyinyi wote. So ni nyinyi wote.
Gospel imechoma.
Mimi nakwambia mtu wa secular akifanya kitu, haikuwagi the secular industry. Lakini mtu wa gospel akifanya kitu, hawa watu wa gospel. Ni mimi tu, ni mtu mmoja amefanya ama wawili, but now it's everybody. Now we have to come here and interview ilikuwa kuhusu Moji. Now we have to talk about the gospel industry.
Sasa twende kwa Moji. Moji. Twende kwako. What is the highest moment in the industry?
The highest?
Yes.
I think the highest moments, it happens almost every day.
Yes.
Every day I interact with somebody, I go like, hey, Short Baba. When Short Baba? You know, hey, Rapenda, this and this and this song. So it's almost like every other time I interact with somebody and they're like, you know, this song I like, or that other moment, or I saw you at an interview and whatever. It's like, because there are days it was just a dream. You're like, I just want to, like when we're in high school, just like, mimi nataka kuwa msanii. Nataka tu ngoma yangu ichezwe kwa radio mara moja. Nataka tu nitoke kwa Pulse mara moja. Nataka tu, yani unajua, like nikitokea mara moja nitakuwa najua yani
umefika.
Niko sawa. And there are guys we really looked up to. I remember I think nilikuwa na cut out ya Pulse ya Juliani, nimeweka kwa high school hapo, nimeweka kwa itongaje kwa desk yangu, kifungwa hivi unaona Juliani, niko like one day I'm going to be this guy. You know, so every time I meet people, and of course there are those, I think we can call them milestones. There are milestones like when I got on Coke Studio, or when I got a song that was really big in the country. Hata wewe mwenyewe unazunguka everywhere, unasikia wimbo yako, unajua unasikia mtu wa Nduzi ndio huyo amepita na ngoma yangu. Ndio sasa zingine hata tushika, kuna siku with a guy like this akapigiwa simu ringtone ni wimbo yangu. You know, for real. Niko like, you know, that's not a very small thing, because I'm like, it's a big thing, because I have music. Being an artist, I have a connection with music, and I know what music does, because pia mimi napenda mziki. There are artists I really like, and there are songs that have carried me through situations. So the moment I see and I hear testimonials of the same with my music, that's like a high moment. So I've had I have high moments every day. Na inakuanga very funny because of my personality. Wasevile wananiconsumeigi, even ndo wananibebaga. Unaelewa?
Jovial.
So tukipatana inakuanga Moji. Ananipiga coffee bana. Kuna jamaa anapiga hapo Mpaka sasa if I'm working with somebody like my grandmother, she keeps asking me, unamjua huyo? I'm like, zi. Unamjua huyo? Zi. These are just people who interact with my personality online, interact with my music, and because of my personality, they're like, they feel like they know me.
Hey, no man.
Man.
So, but the lowest moment?
The lowest moment? Man. I think one of the lowest moments I've ever had was when we were transitioning from Kele Takatifu to doing a solo.
Oh, that's hard, eh?
That was very difficult. That was difficult, That was difficult because we had really worked.
Itakuwa Ngori.
Baba Mbaya, ina noma. And hizo ni zile zinajulikana. Kulikuwa na ngoma zingine kama sijui ngapi. We had a whole album. We released an album, and we had done that from say 2010 to 2017. So those are so many years.
Together you are like brothers.
We're like brothers. So to reach a point where we were now going, like, you're like, hey man, like how will this thing look? And then, you know, sometimes unaangalia, you're looking around and you're like, how have other people, you know, progressed after they have left groups? And I didn't see so many success stories. You know, but I just see a lot of success stories, and you're like, okay, sasa people know Kele Takatifu. Now people have to know Moji Short Baba, because I don't know. Me, after high school, yes, I did go to college, but I've never done anything else. I only know music, and entertainment. So I was like, if this doesn't work,
what is the fallback plan?
What do I do? So it was so many dark nights, man. I was in prayer. I was asking God, I was constantly with my pastor. I used to see my pastor like every day, like you know, because it wasn't so crazy at he did tulikuwa kuana, but tulikuwa tumefika to your point. Unajua kuna hiyo to your point. There's a point you reach, yani inakuwa tu okay sawa. Now where we are now, itabidi kila mse akwe anafanya ajisimamia afanye whatever they feel led by God. So that was one of the darkest moments I've ever had.
So who brought that in the agenda to the table?
We just reached hiyo dini. Ilikuwa kama breakup bana, it's not you, it's me.
It's me, you have the problem.
you know, it was crazy. It was a hard conversation.
Hard,
and it wasn't one conversation. There were many hard conversations. And then now, the reality of now, how do I go about it? But thank God, you know, it wasn't like starting from one. Because now we had, yes, you're trying to build a new name, but you had more knowledge than before. Sika kitambo venye tuko tunakuja huku nje ya KTN, tuko like tunangoja CEO hapo nje. Unajua
lakini nilikuwa mimi siyakataa kuwaona bali.
Hapana, but you know we didn't know. Kitambo you know, sometimes you don't know the channels, right? You don't know the channel. You don't know.
Yeah, who it will be.
Maybe you shouldn't look for CEO. Maybe you should look for somebody who knows CEO.
Yes.
Maybe it would be easier for CEO to pick up that call. I don't know. Like, there are things we just...
Uko
mwanzo to 920, we did so many things. Unknowingly. We didn't know. You don't know the industry. You don't know venye kunaendaga. You don't know who to call. You don't know what. So by the time the whatever, it wasn't so... It was difficult, but... It was difficult, but we knew how to overcome the challenges. I knew, okay, sawa, if I'm gonna be a solo artist, what does the industry want? So like one thing I did, I knew one thing. I knew people don't get booked for gigs because of one song. You get booked because of your catalog.
Yes.
You don't get booked because
of one hit song.
Because of one hit song. So what did I do? I went and recorded like 100 songs within 3 months or whatever. I had like songs.
Yes.
So I was like, I have songs. So do a lot of videos. And then I knew, ile like ukitoa song moja, inagongaga mwamba saa zingine. And then unakuwa discouraged for 2 months kabla urecuperate.
Yes.
So I had like I had a friend, we partnered, a friend called Director Dambis. We did a lot of videos together. So I was churning out music. Between September of 2017 to May of 2018, I had like almost like 6 songs, 6 videos out. Yeah. It's like every
a lot of them.
Came playing out. Watch a Story, Inanoma, Shuko Stumane, Nini, and then came a big song called Vimbada. Energy. Energy. That one came in like May of 2018. Now that was like the seal. Mungu alikuwa ameamua kijana anapambana sana.
Lazima atoke.
Acha atoke. Hiyo pa! Ikalipuka na ikalipua hizo zingine zote.
Basically, let's go back maybe to your journey, musical journey hivyo umesema. You met Didi, of course.
Yes.
Tekelele Takatifu.
Senior Chief Koinange.
Mkakuwa for almost 10 years together.
Yes.
And then 2017 you decided, hii breakup iwe hakuna good wife, bad wife.
Tukakuwa pale, unajua pale Thika Road. Ile barabara you and Ngari Mazai Road na ile la ilienda Ngara. So nasema hiyo that's the separation between man na poverty. But then tukafika hapo crossroads. Yeah.
Mkaachana.
Yeah.
So how did the other people feel in the group? Jamaa, their career have not taken up like he was. Did they stop singing?
It was a duo. We were just 2 guys.
Yeah, you and Didi.
Me and Didi. Yeah. Well, he's done well. He's done equally well.
Yeah.
He's done very well. But unajua kitu ya muziki and entertainment, it's very like kuna msemo mwenye you make it sahi. Mwingine ana make it baadaye. Yes. Ama kuna mwenye anapataga break sahi. As long as tu bora tu
consistent.
As long as you're consistent with whatever. So Didi is doing equally well because I see him he's doing amazing things. We even do gigs together. But sometimes I think when it also comes to arts now and entertainment, it's also about, it's more than the music.
Yes.
It's maybe personality and stuff like that.
How you brand yourself.
How you brand yourself and how out and out you are. So like me, I'm out and out. And funny enough, I'm the introvert, but I'm out and out kabisa. I understand that part, that I can't just release songs and be uko nje. These interviews like this and whatever, being out and out. So utapata, people will interact with Moji one way or the other. I do a bit of acting here. I host events. I have TV shows on other channels, not this one. Yeah, so those kind of things, they keep, the name keeps being talked about and people keep interacting with your face kila mahali. And that's one thing in I learned and I kept doing all through.
So, you talked about your grandmother a lot.
Yes, a lot. A lot. Even in songs.
Sana? Why so?
Well, me mtoto wa shosho, in this sense,
yes.
My mom got me very young. Very young. She was like 16.
Oh.
16 years. 16. So that's when she got pregnant with Short Baba. It wasn't a big pregnancy because you can understand I'm a short man. So, but it went full term. So what happens then? I get born. I get kuzaliwa and nilizaliwa kwa shosho yangu. So my shosho had 8 kids. Yeah, my mom was the second born. And 8 kids now, mimi nikakuwa wa 9. So for a long time, I knew my shosho was
your mom.
As in yeye kila hao wote wanamuita madhe.
So hata wewe unamuita.
Mimi sikuwa muita shosho. Nilianza kumuita shosho later. Niko tu madhe si wote. Madhe. And I used to call my mother by her name. Waithera, the late. Used to call her Waithera.
The late.
Yes, she passed on in 2014. It's 8 years now. 8 years now. So I grew up like that. So shosho has always been shosho. She's like person to go she's crazy. Has her personality, her love for God. She's very strong in her views, and shosho has always been shosho, and she has influenced me a lot. So for a long time it was me and my mother being mothered by her mother.
Yes.
But of course my mother, we were very good friends with my mom, because for a long time we grew up like almost like siblings. Yes. Almost like yes. Of course kulikuwa na kale kuna mali nikinge cross sana
unapigwa coffee.
Don't forget of your mother. So but we were very good friends with my mom. But sasa shosho alikuwa tu like shosho ni kama any boys wangu yani. Nafikirianga tu every time tunaongea kwa simu, tunachapiana, and then now when my mom passed on, she also like took up that place. Yeah, so she's like the mother now.
Fantastic. So and your mom passed on. You know, losing a parent is difficult. I remember I lost my mother in 2016. It's the hardest thing ever.
That's like I don't like losing a mom for a man. I can't even. I've never known that. I've never known pain like that. I've never known pain like that, man.
It's crazy.
It was hard. You know, it was so my mom was always, again, being friends with her, we always like talked. So even this music thing, my mom has never discouraged me. So she was always like, you're going to make it. You know. And I remember that 2013 December, I got like one of my biggest paychecks, you know. Until that time, I had never gotten that kind of money. So I got that money like December of I was paid for it. So one of these big gospel crossover concerts, I was paid, and I had the check in your bed. So I'm like, for the first time, I'm gonna buy my mom something nice, you know. For all these years, she has supported me. She's always been there, you know. And we also at that time we were going through some tough family issues. So I wake up, I think on the first. Is it first the second? Unajua event ilikuwa heavy, so unajua unachoka unangoja urudi sawa. I think she passed on the second of 2014.
So you didn't buy this?
I didn't buy anything, man. I had that money. You know, it was really about the money, but it was enjoying
the fruits of your labor together.
And she went to be with the Lord. It was the second of I think the second. Yeah, it was the second. The second of second. Or it was the morning of the second, so maybe she passed the fast or something like that. But
was this illness or a sudden?
Yeah, I don't like talking about the details, but it was a sudden death. So it was crazy. It was hard. It was hard. So even like coming to God and like, why would you do this now? Why now? You know, maybe she could have been here to see her boy even. You know, at least because she struggled to raise. Yeah, and my grandmother did a lot of things for me to be the person I am today. Used to sell mandizis in the market. Used to go to Kutus, let a mandizi, was the ripen. That's my shosho and my mom. They used to do a lot of crazy things for me and also all my uncles and all that. So it was one of the hardest things I think I've ever gone through. But God. I prayed to God and I'm like, if it's your will, just give me peace and give me the strength to carry on. And I had a small bro and a small sis. They're all grown up now. My bro just joined high school. And God has been amazing, Maze.
Great. And the sis as well?
Yeah, she's doing her class 8 this year. So they're big people, but they were like 7 and 5. So they were small children. So just like, what is this now? What is this? But funny enough, they also gave me the strength to carry on, because I was like, if I'm not strong enough,
who will take care of them?
Who take care of them? Yeah. So it's been a journey, and I've seen God.
Serious journey.
What? Cheka smile. Sometimes unapitia real life issues.
No, they're real life issues. And then how did you meet you got married last year? Hukutuita, mimi sijakula mchele.
It was a corona wedding, which ended up being a blessing. Shout out to all the people who got married last year. Budgets were slashed.
Like,
class of 2021.
Class of 2021.
Wacha nikwambie, it was very stressful to cut down on the list. Very stressful to cut down on who is not coming.
Yes.
But you know, we had no choice.
Yes.
It's a government directive. Na nataka kubishana na serikali na iko na mkono refu. Nobody. So we used to call people very vizuri, it's the government. It was stressful because now even family. You don't forget about kina CEO wale tumetoka nao, but even family. Unaambia anko yako fulani ya ukam.
Anaona wedding cake inakuliwa.
I'll come by the way anko. Because this is what we do. 70 people. Ukishaeka waso line up nini weke shosho nini. It was crazy. But after the wedding, we're just like, thank you God. Because you imagine if it was this expensive and it was this many people. So
corona.
Sasa kama ungekuwa sijui kwanza mimi mtu wa watu yani ingekuwa kama campaign. I'm so happy. So it was a blessing in disguise. Acha tuseme tu hivyo. Like it was a blessing.
Hatukukuja bwana.
Ilikuwa crazy. Haina noma. 10th anniversary. God will keep us, brother.
Until 10th anniversary.
10th anniversary.
Hata one dijafika September.
One imefika. It was May last year. So May this year. Hata nilikuja hapa actually on this stage. I came to surprise my wife because she has a show here on KTN. I came to surprise her here with a cake on her first anniversary. Juicy. She has a show here called Sunday Best.
Sunday Best, yes, I know. How did you meet her?
How did I meet her? Well, she's been in communication and events. That's what she does. And so we first met at an event, but tulikuja kujuana vizuri at a church. At a church, we go to the same church. Or we used to go to the same church, and that's where we met. In the service of the Lord. Let me tell you, for those young men out there who have not found.
Levis. Ambia Levis.
Our director Levis. Go serve in church. You will find your wife. In the service of the Lord.
Asitafuta kwingine.
Ukitafuta unajua mahali unatoa mtu unamtoa na shida za huko. Unajua if you find me in a market, I'll come with my market. If you find me in church,
with church.
So I don't know if church is good for you. If it sounds like a good place for you, then that's where we met. We were and our friendship grew, and then we started dating, and then we got married, man.
So musically, what is your outlook going forward? What do you want to do this year musically? Big stuff, or what is in the plan? What is in store?
I think every other time, it's like, I think in everything that you do, so like the biggest hurdle I had as a solo artist, starting out as a solo artist was to get established as a solo artist fast. And I think that has happened by the grace of God. So now I used to say, now I need to pioneer something, you know?
Yeah, you need to progress into.
To progress. Now you're like, okay, sawa, Moji anajulikana, ama jina Moji anajulikana. So how do I take this now to the next level and say, okay, now this is what, when years to come, people talk about Moji. Okay, like, okay, now, yeah, he came.
He conquered, but then now he came and I think now the next thing, whatever I do next, is gonna open doors for like the next generation. Because I'm like, we're still enjoying fruits of what some people really did before. Yeah. And I shout out Akina Tatio and Jimmy Gates, and there's a whole lot of guys. Some of them even maybe not known, but they did a lot of. You might know them because you wrote about them. Yes. But kuna so many guys that made it possible for us to be here. Now, how do we make it? Because again, since then and now, so many things have changed. So how do we take it to the next level? So how do we take it to Africa? Because now even things have been made easier. Sika kitambo. Said we have social media, we have all these things, we have all these tools. So how do I take it? So my biggest, I think, headache right now is how do I take Kenya gospel music to the world? And because if I am successful in that, it means that it will be a model that can be replicated by other artists. And you know, we shall cut this interview in a few years. And we'll check because it will have happened. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm very sure. I am certain it will happen. Because if there's no impossibility. There's no impossibility. Because once you start thinking about it, then you're like, even by now me saying it here,
gives me the confidence
of doing
almost a certain accountability, because if you said it, you have to follow through, and it will happen. So for me, it's to do that, and I think it's also to establish platforms that can be used to either mentor other guys and bring out, and also just push the gospel music ahead. So for me, the next stage for Moji Short Baba is establishing platform, and is to opening new doors and knocking new doors and going to like new areas. So people are gonna see me traveling, taking this Cheza gospel outside there.
Cheza gospel.
Yes. Cheza gospel. And we're well on our way. This year we did our first Cheza Gospel Festival. It's gonna be an annual festival happening every year. And we packed out Nairobi Cinema with like young people. We came and had fun, and we had like an array of gospel artists that came and just brought the house down. And we're gonna continue doing that next year. We go at it again, and more platforms and more things and more crazy ideas. Just tushamalizana sana hiyo ya nisho ti baba. Sasa ni kwenda.
Sasa ni kwenda.
Ni kwenda sasa. Yeah. And it's gonna be amazing. Even me being on this interview, it's such a big interview. No, so it shows that it's possible, and we're gonna keep on going.
So there are very many personal things which affect musicians, and there sometimes you feel like you want to quit.
Yeah,
it's natural in any career. Have you reached the one time you said, kitu wacha niache leo, ama did it come to you?
Swali see if it has happened. Swali ni how many times. Pengine hata before tuingia hapa ili happen. Acha nikwambie honestly, being a creative or an artist in this country is not the most easiest. It's not the easiest thing. And I'm sure you've had this. And it's mainly because I think it's a relatively young industry. So it hasn't the pipelines. The pipelines haven't, the structure is not clear. You see, like it's very clear on how somebody can make it as a journalist. Come to standard media, start out as an intern. As when you are an intern, visit every department, go to broadcast, go to print, go to see which one suits your whatever career. Go to the gallery, blah blah blah, and then from there you can say, it's very like you can ukiingia tu hivi unaweza ambiwa this person, this is what they did. But for most time for Kenyan artists, I'm a creative.
Unaanza from scratch. Na hata ukiuliza mtu make it sometimes anaweza kosa kukuambia clearly the route. And it's true. Ukisikiza wase wengi inakuwa tu like unapambana because the structures have not been laid. Hauko sure how before ujue how to make your money and all those things. So yes, sometimes unafikanga hiyo point unagonga hurdles, uko like because tunafikirianga maybe a big song is like ukipata a big song, that's it. Unapata a big song, unakula pesa kidogo, and then you're like, okay, industry inakuuliza where is the other one? Where is the other one?
Where is the other one? So because that understanding, and also I guess the knowledge, sometimes knowledge is, and that's why I think shows like this are very important to pass down knowledge. To pass down knowledge to the younger guys to know, okay, first of all, it is not a hit song that gets you paid over time. It's a brand. It's a brand that you build. People can trust the name Moji Short Baba. They know Moji will show up. They know Moji will deliver. Those kind of things. It's not Vimbada that will get Moji paid eventually for a long time. It is the consistency in upholding your standard as a brand and those things. So ukijua hizo vitu mapema, you're like, okay, sasa. And there are certain things. So there are more than one thing. So I think kwa hiyo on that learning curve, sometimes you hit a lot of roadblocks. And you give up. I remember as Keleta Katifu, before we got to Ngori, I think if Ngori didn't become a big song, tungeachana nayo.
Mngeacha?
Ikwende hii mambo. Because kuna ile period when you leave high school, we're 18. If your friend aende tu kwa biashara ya kuuza makaa,
na make do,
aifanye for say like 4 years straight, unapata nani akidrive? Si ndio? Sasa wewe maybe umeanza na hiyo mziki, unaanza kupatana na maboys wako washaanza kuambia, unajua kwanza after high school mtu anakuambia amehama. Kwanza hiyo ndio like the biggest blood pressure. Amehama aje?
Ameenda wapi?
tunalipa rent.
Unalipa rent, wacha mchezo. Wacha unalipaje?
Mnatoa bido. So kulikuwa na hizo vitu zote, like after high school we did it for a while, and then matunda zilikawia. So and then but you're seeing all these things. Unajua maisha yako inasimama, wengine isimami. So I think I've reached so many points where you're like, and then also other people giving up. Kitambo kulikuwa na ile, I think it's ending now. But kitambo, and maybe you can confirm this, msanii wa Kenya akifika 35 ama 30
anatoka,
ana retire. I don't know hizo story ilikuwa imetoka wapi.
Si walikuwa nafikira tunawazee.
Msanii akifika 30 ameacha muziki. Ati hiyo ndio ni kama football age, yani ni kama football. Tunaretire kama soka.
And many people actually left. Unamuuliza, I just stopped. Many guys.
So we're like, so una imagine, so tukiwa huko in our 20s uko like, so nikikaribia 30 ninafaa kuanza kufikiria exit strategy ama, you know, so kuna so many points when unafika, because it's a young industry uko like, but then kumekuwa na so many other artists, kumekuwa na so many artists wenye I think kuna some artists wame break hizo barriers. So like, and everybody now is starting to think, okay, so this is something I can do.
It's a long term career.
It's a long term career. Yeah. But sasa huku again, sasa ati 30 mtu ameretire, ameacha. Anaacha na aseti hata akiwa juu anawaacha.
Na ngoma inaenda.
Ati nimefika 30. I don't know ilikuwa inatoka wapi hiyo story. So kumekuwa na so many challenges za kufanya mtu atake kuacha.
I think the challenges were people thought that music is a fad, a pastime. Walikuwa wanacheza muziki wangoja job fiti kuje.
So
that was a problem.
Na kulikuwa na hiyo pia, there was an idea that wasanii wajasoma, but now you're seeing guys, and you know, just to mention guys like, because they're one of the biggest in this country, like Akina Sauti Sol, and so many other guys I know.
They've gone to school,
they have their degrees. Some artists I know even have their masters, but they want to be in art and the creative industry. And so with those kind of stories happening, and with the media highlighting those stories, people can actually, because the more we are, and I don't think an industry can be grown by one successful individual. It's the media industry is successful in Kenya, it's because we have so many media competing. Who anakuja na new ideas from sijui wapi, and it's cool. An industry cannot grow because of one successful person. We need a lot of people, and that's why PF now in gospel I'm pro the Cheza gospel thing, because I'm like, we need more artists, because kuna a lot of them that left. It's like we need more artists for the gospel ministry and industry to be vibrant. We need a lot of top class artists performing at a very high level for it to say it's thriving.
So, and songwriting skills, how do you increase, because their songs are very catchy. How do you improve on a Kenyan songwriting skills so that we have more songs which can go out there?
I think, I almost think like we had hacked it before, and then we lost it, and then now we're getting it back.
It was there's somewhere it got totally lost.
Yes, because we wanted to go international. And we thought maybe going international is changing our sound, or changing the sound that Kenyans love. So ulikuwa unapata msanii anakam, ana hit na ngoma zenye wase wanapenda, alafu inafika point fulani kwa career yake anasema sasa naenda international wase. So inamaanisha ile vitu zenye mlimpenda nazo anawacha. Anaenda kuimba ngoma zingine zenye sio as resonate. I don't know if I'm sure you've seen that. Like, Moji, okay, Vimbada, Nini, Mitumba, itakuwa Ngori. Now I'm going international. So it means na achana hizo vitu zote naanza kuimba ngoma zingine. So going international means now I first lose out on my Kenyan audience. And I think we had lost it. And maybe it's my analysis, but now you find when you sing about things that are catchy, and that's why for me I'm like, I sing gospel music, so I must pass down lessons. I must pass down knowledge. I must pass down inspirational content. But it can't be boring.
It can't.
It can't be boring. It can't be something that you can easily just, you know, skip ama kitu kayo. So that's how, like, since my debut in the industry, I've always wanted to write music that is easy. And then mimi boy wa mtaa. I mean niko like, if venye tunaongea ndio nataka niweke kwa muziki, but niweke lesson. So like there's a song I did called Mitumba, which talks about how just like Mitumba, God can give us a second chance. And you see, that was just me observing and seeing Mitumbas are actually clothes that have been given a second chance. They had already been worn. And I know the whole conversation you're about to start, I feel. But Yeah, but the second chance that the Mitumba clothing got, or the Mitumba clothing get, is the same second chance that Jesus Christ offers through us getting born again, because we have been used up by the things of the world. But God and come and to pay a second chance. So you see that's kind of, and I think in literature it's called what do you call it? It's like imagery. It's like idioms and all those things. Once you use that in music and use the language that was wanaelewa, mzee akisikia mitumba ako like hii ni kitu anasikianga every day akipita kwa barabara. Mitumba. Now you put it in a song and add content into it, like that people really. So even as we go international, let's not lose out on
our touch, local touch.
Let's actually take our local touch and take it international, just like the Nigerians are doing, just like all these other guys are doing. Wase wa reggae, wase wa ragaton. Let's take what we have here. Now, all we need to crack is how to package it for the international market.
Agreed, totally. Yes. But hiyo mambo ya mtumba tutarudi hapo after some time. But I pass it. You know, this week we are going to election. Raila talked about Mitumba. I will.
Yes.
I will not go there.
I even had to repost my song. I was like, "Yeah, let me cool on this kavibe." That's happening.
Let's not go to Raila and Mitumba. Wajakoya.
From the professor.
From the professor Nabangi.
Yes.
What is your take?
My take? Hey. I don't know, man. I don't know. I like Wajakoya. He's a learned person, so respect to him. Yes. He's an elder. Even if I talk about him from a point of he's an elder, when he's on a beer, that kind of pick a durag. My view is, first of all, bang is illegal now in Kenya. So I'll stand by the government and by the decree, by the constitution. It's illegal, and I'm not sure about. What I know is there are things that are legal and are bad. Yes. Even alcohol is legal now. Watu wengi sana wanakufa na alcohol. So I'm like, as long as as we discuss whatever Wajakoya is talking about, let's discuss it from a point of it's actually a drug. It's a substance that can. So legal or illegal, let's not forget that it's a drug. It's like a drug, and it can be abused and has been abused. So legal, illegal. Let's talk about it from that far. I don't know if he'll become the president. I don't know if he's really the fifth. That I'm not sure. But I'm like, even when we talk about it, let's not forget that it's actually a drug, and that there are people who have lost their minds on this thing because of it. And we all have somebody in our family. But even Wajakoya has brought up a whole, the conversation is even crazier. Because again, when you talk about alcohol in Kenya, alcohol is a pandemic, We just don't talk about it like that. Alcohol is even whatever, that's a whole pandemic. Kama umetoka ghetto unajua hiyo ni pandemic ingine. So even when you talk about weed and whatever, I think he also brings up the conversation of, are we abusing drugs as a society? And will this just be another one that will just come and just sweep everybody? Wala wamebaki. Pombe isha sweep wengi. Sasa hii ingine ikuje kama imefagia kabisa. So because we all have uncles, we have lost people because of alcohol, or we have people now who are in alcohol. I personally have people in my family who are bound by the chains of alcohol. And so I'm like, ukiongeza bangi, I don't know sasa tutaenda telekea wapi.
The last question.
Yeah.
What is the highest amount of you paid before in your show? Ile ulishika hivi mkono ikafanya Moji ni mimi.
Basi.
Imeingia hii yote.
Well, kumekuwa na mafigures zimenitingiza. Kuna mafigures zimenitingiza. Kwanza kuna moja, I won't say the amount. It's ya KRA nini. Tuko kwa hii age ya KRA. So
najua hiyo age. Tuwezi sema.
It was a government show. Well, the show me is a little, but this one was funny. It was particularly funny because you know how the government operates is that when you're going to perform to certain functions, the security is very heightened. So usikuje na mtu, kuja peke yako tafadhali. Ama hata wewe ujue kama ukuje na mtu whatever. So tulikuwa tunachukuliwa sijui 4-5 mahali tumeenda. Mimi niko na kakoti kangu safi sana, unajua una performia president. Sasa the idea is sini wote mnakuja. Government first of all ni government. Check ya nani? Utaandikiwa check na the Ministry of nini? Ministry of Treasury inakuandikia check. Where will you bank it? So Anyway, I don't know. Maybe wanaandikaga check, but hawakuandika check. Walitupea wasanii tunalipanga cash sana na
hizi ndio mtu asikuruke.
So jamaa wa cash alikuwa hapo kando ya stage. So wewe unakam
unapiga show?
Ukikaribia next on stage unakaribia. Sasa jamaa ako hapo na baga na kupiga kitita.
Anafungua?
Hisi kibuta hili kitita. Sasa hii kitita unajua ni kitita kibunda. Hauwezi pia tu mtu akushikia. Kwa sababu akichuna 5 utajua. Sema tu baba kuimba na
amejaza huku mfuko.
Limba hivi.
So as we end, what is your advice to the upcoming generation, the youth, and towards election? Najua lazima tuambie watu wa vote wisely na nini. It's our call.
Yeah, I think, well, first of all, I think, and I heard somebody talk about this. I think, first of all, as Kenyans, we get really caught up about the government, about the top seats. Let's really concentrate also on the smaller seats.
Martha Karua actually said, the deputy.
Like your MCA, that affects your road, your whatever. Kama sahi, we are very happy. Kama mimi huko kwenye nimetoka Gando, right now. Tuko na barabara. Because sasa, siasa imekaribia. Siasa ikaribia ndio sasa tunataka kuona
development.
Tunataka kuona barabara to alleys. Na unajua, MCA anaweka picha yake kubwa. This project was commissioned by nani. Like sasa tunajua this is your nini, this is your jurisdiction.
Yes.
Hatuko tunajua hii barabara ni wewe unafaa kutengeneza. So anyway, let's concentrate on even the smaller offices because those ones will really affect us because that's every day. 2, let's remember that even after elections, we still have a country to go back to.
Of course, we can't
still have you still, these are the same neighbors you're gonna live with. These are the same guys you're gonna work with upper. You're gonna work with you. Artists are gonna need guys like CEOs. You're gonna need artists. So let's not get carried away na you people. Let's not get very carried. Ikuwe kama mpira. You know how we go to Arsenal. Tuna fight.
I mean to Manchester.
Manchester. Tunashautiana.
Good examples.
Ball inazima nga.
Mnaenda home.
Tunaenda home ama tunaitisha nyama. Tunaendelea kuongea. Mmetupiga zetu 3 ama 4 but sasa tunasema ni sawa. Unaona? So I'm like, after this it may happen and whoever has won to go teane tu tuseme okay sawa. Wajakoya is our president, let's continue with life.
Lakini sina bangi.
Wewe una imagine huyo jamaa akakuwa president. Wewe imagine vile watu wanaweza kiwasha huko that day. August 9th Kenya kunaweza kuwa kuna kama Vatican venye kuna chagulia yako nini inaitwa kwa
ile moshi ya Pope.
Unaona jina moja kwa yashinde. Sisi inaweza kuwa movie. Mungu wangu. So anyway, let's just be careful. Let's just remember we have a country to go back to. We have dreams, we have children, we have for us we still have children in here.
Hapo kwa wewe uko kwa magoti.
Tunaenda kuwatoa and we need a nice country for our children to get born into. So let's not, and anybody who is doing anything out there, you know, I just like to tell them that just keep on working. One day it's gonna make sense. And for those that maybe you wanna feel like, will I ever make it? Your opportunity is gonna come. So I heard it somewhere. It's a cliche saying, but it's very important that success is an opportunity meets preparation. So always be prepared. Always be prepared prepare for an interview like this if you're an artist. Think to yourself, if I ever found myself at an interview, how would I answer certain questions? What would I say? Prepare so that when that opportunity comes, you don't lose it. Usifanye interview alafu watu wanasema, huyo usiaimuita tena, huyo ametupo. So you just prepare. Prepare properly so that when opportunities land on your desk like this, ama land on your laps like this, you are ready to go. Yani that opportunity takes you to another level, and then another opportunity takes you to another level. That would be my advice to everybody out there.
And to the gospel, people should keep waiting for our gospel industry to grow or to...
The gospel industry is still growing. It's still big and very vibrant. That's why we are here. So we've just had challenges, and those challenges have been, they have overshadowed the good work that we are doing. But we're still there. We have so much music coming. We still have, if the gospel industry was surely dead, would KTN have shows for gospel music? We have like 6 of them. Mama, how many?
We have
right?
many.
We have so many shows or whatever. Nobody would invest in something that's already there.
Yes.
So we have, the industry is still vibrant. It's just that the stories have overshadowed. And what I would want us to do as gospel artists, and just to urge every other gospel artist out there, wetu wa mziki, tengeneza kitu kali.
Itakuja na tutakuinterview.
Utakuwa hapa, makers of the nation ama
history makers. Thank you for watching Moji Short Baba and myself. That was a pleasant interview. Najua Moji alitoa ndevu akiwa form 2, so msameheni maze. Walimu walisumbua sana huko, but he's a great artist, great talent, a guy of many